think I might have got your seat. And welcome to Blog Update Cam. So where have we got to? We're up to the 9th of January. So we're up in Coromandel. It's our first full day. Probably our only full day in Coromandel. Actually, we only had a couple of days up there. But we took ourselves off. I'm going to turn around actually so you can see the scenery. It's amazing. This is where we're driving at the moment. Mountains all around us. Very nice. We took ourselves off from John and Naomi and we went to a place called Driving Creek, where rather amazingly one guy, Barry Brickle, I think his name was, had built his own railway. It took him 32 years. It was a narrow gauge railway. It was like 2.5 kilometres long, and I think it's the only narrow gauge railway in the whole of New Zealand. And he originally made it to carry clay, which was on his plot of land, down to his potter's place so that he could make clay, presumably, make pots and stuff. But I guess there's a hobby that got out of control, and over 32 years later, it's quite impressive, really. We went on the journey, and you can buy tickets for it. It takes an hour to go there and back, and yeah, it was really quite quaint, wasn't it? Would you say, Leanne?
Lovely.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, it was massively impressive.
Yeah, really impressive. There's there's all sorts of ravines to go over. So there's bridges, there's viaducts, there's double-decker viaducts. There's stopping points where it reverses and goes backwards to zigzag up the hill. There's all sorts of stuff. It was really quite impressive. That was.
See, I like the pottery.
They had very cool pottery, didn't they? Very, very cool pottery. But yeah, that was a particularly interesting thing to do. I don't know. It was quite unique. I don't know. I've never seen a handmade railway before. Not like that you can actually take a ride on. That was really interesting. Anything else you want to say about that, Leanne?
No, I'm trying to miss the codes.
Oh yeah.
My beast.
I'm going to look out to the left here. If you just take a look out of your left window, you'll see another amazing view. Yes, there we go. So the second half of that day, we went to a place called Hot Water Beach, which I think most people who go to New Zealand do come here if they've got a chance. It was quite amusing. I didn't really know what to expect before going there, but I think in my mind, I'd imagined like a larger area where the Hot Water Beach bit was. So when we eventually got there, it was a bit weird really. When we eventually got there, it was like the tiniest bit of beach ever where the hot water bit was, and it was the most crowded bit of beach I think since I've seen since I was a kid. I used to go to Blackpool. It was quite weird, but nevertheless, we John and I and Leanne, we set about making a little pool. And the general plan was to make a little barrier wall to stop the seawater coming in. Then you dig down a little bit to uncover the hot springs, and then you mix it with a bit of seawater and you get a really nice temperature bath to sit in. It sounds very tranquil, but when you're surrounded by loads of other people, it was a bit random really, but it was very nice.
Really hot.
It was insanely hot, like steaming hot, so you had to mix it with seawater to get to a nice temperature. And yeah, we got some really interesting photos of John and I just kind of sat in this like little paddling pool that we created, just the two of us and Daisy at time. It was quite amusing really, quite quaint. But yeah, it was quite an interesting experience. It's not something you kind of get to do every day really, I guess. That was something a bit unusual. Anything else we did that day? Oh yes, we bought some stuff for a barbecue when we got back to the batch as well.
Us girls went to an amazing spa.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Well, so while John and I were buying the stuff for the barbecue, which wasn't the most interesting thing in the world, the girls went to, where was it again you went to?
I can't remember. Polynesian spa.
No, it wasn't Polynesian Spa, it was Lost Springs. Lost Springs Spa is where it was. Do you want to say anything about that, Leon? I didn't really go there, so you might want to...
Yeah, it was very good. The boys fed the baby and did the shopping, and we sat in a pool with a glass of wine. I think we got a good deal there.
Yeah, that sounds like a good deal.
Yeah.
To be fair, Daisy wasn't much difficulty to look after. We took her down by the beach, and she would practice more walking, and then we went back and John fed her whilst I went to the supermarket, so it wasn't particularly stressful. We did have lined up, and we did want to try and do while we were in Coromandel, an astronomy tour. Some guy had set up his own his own telescope, quite a big telescope, in his back. It is big enough to sort of that you need a machine to move it, sort of thing, in his back garden. But the weather was never clear enough while we were up there. So maybe we'll find somewhere down here that does that. I don't know, but yeah.
It did mean that you got the chance to win a poker.
Yeah, I did mean that we played poker. So not only did I win at Uno the night before, I won at poker on that night as well. Awesomeness.
Girls are winning overall, though, like.
I think the girls, overall, all wins taken into account. I think the girls were winning. Yeah, disappointing. There you go. And then the next day, I might as well round off our North Island tour. We decided we had to head off. That was our 2 days, 2 nights in a lovely little batch that we were in. We decided to head south. We went to Coromandel for lunch, a place that Leanne and I had gone on the way back from the train track. Whoa, actual tipping over danger. Aside from the actual tipping over danger. We went for a little bit of lunch in Coromandel town, which was very nice. I had my first green-lipped mussels in there the day before. So the Coromandel is famous for green-lipped mussels, so I had some of those and they were lush. Really, really nice. I thoroughly enjoyed those. Very, very nice indeed. We basically meandered down the coastline again that we'd taken on the day up before. We went to a place that sounded very nice. It was like some waterfalls or water gardens. It was like $15 a person to get in. So we decided to turn around and go back again. Much to John and Naomi's amusement, because they'd actually done the very same thing previously when they'd gone there. They'd gone there, decided it was too expensive, and turned around and left again. Very funny. And then they dropped us off at a place called Thames, where we got the bus over to. We said our goodbyes to John and Naomi. They headed off back, and we got our bus over to the airport. And I think the journey was pretty uneventful from there on in. We got the bus quite early. We got to the plane in plenty of time to get some food. We landed in the South Island. We left the North Island behind. It was amazing, and we went to the South Island. I suppose the most amusing thing about that was we managed to get a limousine to pick us up from the airport to take us to the hotel. The hotel doesn't use a taxi or any sort of ute. It uses an actual limousine with a tow truck on the back to take bags. It's very, very weird, very random. So Leanne and I, hello Leanne.
Hello Leanne.
Leanne and I went in a limousine.
Yeah.
Actual limousine cab. Is that your first limousine trip?
It is.
Yeah, me too. It was a bit random. It was about a minute long, so not the most expansive limousine journey ever. And there was no champagne in there, disappointingly. How rubbish. Ooh, view up there. Oh, I'm a bit slow there. Apologies, camera viewers. And that was a really good day. So the North Island, Leanne, do you want to summarise the North Island?
Awesome.
Awesome. One word. Yes. Now, big thanks to John and Naomi. I'm going to turn it around now.
It was the most English place that we've been. English-feeling place that we've been.
Yeah, it did feel, but from the very moment we landed, the temperature, the climate was very, very English. You can see now, I mean, we don't really get mountains like this, but it's all very green and lush. There's trees and fields, and it looks a bit different. Well, this bit looks very different because it's so mountainous, but the whole place has a bit of a feel of England about it, which looks silly given the view I'm looking at.
North Island, not South.
Yeah, well, the North Island especially. The South Island still has a little bit of a lushness about it, but the North Island was, particularly, it's not nowhere near mountainous like this. It was very. You can imagine a relatively easy transition from the UK to the North Island of New Zealand. Big thanks to June and Tim for staying in their accommodation.
Yeah.
Shay, June and Tim. Big thanks to John and Naomi for. Big thanks to you for looking after us, driving us around. Hopefully it didn't get too dull for you. I know that you had a good time while you were with us, but I did a lot of driving, I guess, as well. So showed us some good places. Rotorua was amazing. Full day there, the fullest day in the world. Taupo was amazing. Segways, Blue Springs. Went to Raglan, do some surfing up to Coromandel, all around there. It was amazing. Really, a really incredible 12 days. And not only that, but we had New Year's Eve as well, if you remember.
Yeah, New Year's Eve was good.
Where the boys got dressed up as Arabs. What else are you going to do on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, typical black tie that.
Well, we didn't have our own black tie. That's Arab black tie. That's what they wear.
Tie,
Yeah, it does look mostly like any other kind of attire to the untrained eye. But, you know, I was wearing my black tie headband. You know. Anyway, I'm probably going to sign off now. That's the North Island done. Sign off, Emilia.
Sign off.
Sign off for me.